On behalf of the Australian Defence Force, I sincerely and unreservedly apologise.
Let's cross now to Joe Siracusa, who is a professor of human security and international diplomacy at Curtin University in Melbourne, for more on this. Joe, thanks so much for your time here at TRT World. I was listening there to Campbell. He started by apologizing to the Afghan people for any wrongdoing, but then he also told to the Australian people that they had the right to expect better from their special forces. What effect is this report likely to have on people's confidence in their armed forces?
Well, look, this is a special commando unit of the Special Air Services, which is an elite unit in Australia, which has a very good reputation. And that's what this is all about. It's about the reputation or the stain on this very gallant fighting force. Now, look, these are allegations, though Campbell came very close to admitting that Australian soldiers may be guilty of these things, what I think is interesting. And look, every war produces atrocities. In my own lifetime, the Vietnam War produced Lieutenant Kelly and all the rest of it. And the Taliban do these things every week in Afghanistan, and they're not apologizing to anything. But look, Australians take the law very seriously, and they take the reputations of their armed forces very seriously. This is the cream of the cream in Australia. So they're actually going to dig deep into this. The report that came out today is 425 pages long. It details allegations, 23 cases where 39 people were killed by about 19 or 20 men. These are allegations. And very interestingly to your audience is that these are going to be investigated in a civilian court. That is, they're going to bring the civilian authorities in. Now, normally, when something like this is done in wartime or by soldiers, it's looked at by a military tribunal. The Australian Army only has sort of like reserve lawyers working for them. So this is all going to go to sort of the public prosecutor, and dozens of lawyers are going to get involved. They're going to try to make cases against the 19 men. And some of these cases are 15 years old, so it'd be very hard to prove.
Right.
But look, as I say, every nation commits these things, but Australia wants to do something about it. And they're going to spend a lot of time and money to find out if these claims are true. Though Campbell has sort of admitted they are.
Right. Are we seeing here in some way this pattern and the culture for these elite forces who behave like they have impunity when they are sent to serve in their missions around the world?
Well, I know this is what happened in Vietnam. We had a lot of problem with toxic culture in the special forces over there with the Green Berets. Look, Australians have been in some very difficult spots. SAS forces have been in all the fire zones during the War on Terror, which lasted about 19 years now. They do not have this reputation. So the reputation is everything. And Australians they're wounded by this, you know, they're personally wounded by this. And I've talked to a number of elite soldiers today who have served in these units, and they want justice done, and they want to see justice be seen to be done. So this is the response here. You know, some countries ignore these things. In America, we tended to ignore atrocities during the Vietnam War and other places. But here, they're going to take it very seriously. The trouble is that after 15 years, it might be hard to prove a case in a court of law where you have to prove something beyond reasonable doubt. In a military tribunal, all you have to do is show probable cause or probability. Balance of probability. So it's a different standard. I don't know if they're going to get any prosecutions, but I'll tell you what, Australians are going to dig deep into this, and they're going to root out the people. This morning, you probably don't know this, the head of the armed forces disbanded that 2nd Commando unit. It has actually been rebadged. The people there have been sent to different units. So already they've suffered the humiliation of their famous fighting unit has been disbanded.
Okay, Joseph Siracusa, they're live for us. Thanks so much for that insight for us here at TRT World. I appreciate that, Professor.